in the screen better? There we go. Anyway, send us pictures of your vintage, tiny miniature sewing machines.
How many do you own?
I don't know, but I did go to an estate sale this past year, and they had a beautiful, beautiful little Singer. And I didn't have one like that before, and it was so tiny and cute and in perfect condition. So I was pretty happy about that. So anyway, one of the things I like.
Are you estate sale shopping this weekend?
No, I think I'm going to go to a birthday party for my 2-year-old granddaughter.
2. She's going to be 2 tomorrow.
Can you believe that?
No.
So baby June, and I was thinking about this. Do you remember when we were watching Kristen carrying baby June, and it's like, man, she hadn't had that baby yet.
I remember.
You remember? And now we're celebrating her 2-year birthday. And so yesterday afternoon, I got kind of inspired. I was going through vintage patterns, and I found a cute one. And I thought, well, I'm going to make this for June.
Oh, Sally. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I made this. So I made this it's a little vintage pattern. We'll talk more about it later, but this is
oh my goodness. Yeah, I had no idea.
I made this. I did make this for June, and I still have to hem it, but I lined it. The pattern didn't call for a lining, but
we got a zipper demonstration. I do know that we have a zipper demonstration coming in a little bit.
So it's probably, I don't know, maybe a 1970 something pattern, and it's cute little square neck A-line. But I like the little flutter sleeves and the little pockets. So we'll talk about that in a little bit.
You got it. In like awake years though, because the amount of time that she's been awake and should have slept as a child, she's more like 8. I think she's at least 8 years old. I've been up.
June is not a sleeper.
She is not a sleeper.
And so she gets up and she just wants to play with mama like all night long, right?
Oh man, yes. Yeah. It has worn on me for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. So have you seen our sewing kits? We have sewing kits that include smocking kits. We have boys sewing kits. We have girls sewing kits. The latest is a based off of the Children's Corner Bishop. It's their pattern number 3. It comes in 2 size options. Is this the small or large option? Do you know what size we're making this? Sorry, I'm asking questions I should have asked before I came up here. Y'all, look how cute this is. So here is the Smocked Bishop, and it is in our new rosebud print. This is an exclusive Farmhouse Fabrics printed lawn.
Size 6.
Oh, up to a size 6.
So this is going to be styled off of the Children's Corner Bishop pattern, and it's so beautiful. So here are all its contents if you want to show it.
Sleeves.
Yeah, there will be a little lace edging. I think it's a little French lace edging that
do
goes
an
on
overhead. If you want to throw it up here.
Okay. All right.
I got to come up with another throw it up here option. If you would like to display this fabric.
You want to throw it up here? Okay. So
here's we're showing all the parts and pieces on Facebook. There's an overhead component. If you're on Instagram, you can hop onto our Facebook Live or our YouTube Live to see those.
So we have a tiny little French lace edging for the flutter sleeves, the angel sleeves. Just barely off-white thread, and the button loops for the shank buttons that go down the back of the bishop, and some floss.
So you can use these different floss colors in your geometric design, or you can stick with just one option. So we're showing you what those look like in just the one floss option.
They're pretty.
They're
really
pretty.
Really pretty.
So
Harriet says she loves the kits.
Oh, awesome.
Great.
We like to say that it's all the parts and pieces that you need to create the look. We do like to style it based off of or specific to our sewing kits. They are made with one pattern in mind. We have things like garment to go, or we'll coordinate different fabrics and trims, but sewing kits are based off of one pattern, because pattern requirements change, or excuse me.
They do. The pattern requirements do
like
change.
Fabric requirements,
right? And so if we give you the specific pattern, we go by the fabric requirements off the back of their pattern. What they tell you to give.
Mary Shutter, she says hello from Scottsdale.
Oh.
I want more than ever to smock and learn to sew children's garments. I will order a kit and have it a go.
Do you know about Smocking 101 with Gail Doan at gaildone.com? Because we have a fabulous printed spiral bound notebook from her that we took and sent off to Office Depot. It's all the things that Gail Doan, who is a cover gal for heirloom sewing, has learned throughout her, did she say 40 years of smocking?
Yeah, I'm sure that, I mean, it's got to be 40 years when she's smocking for her children, and then she's been published in the magazines all those years too. She's from when her kids were little until now. She's sewing for her grandkids and teaching classes. She has wonderful online classes if you go to gaildone.com, and that one is
Smocking 101.
Mm-hmm. And so when she said a spiral bound notebook, what we did is we bought the class, and then we printed her instructions, and we printed the instructions and we had them put in a spiral bound notebook. So that's really easy for us to follow. And
it wasn't designed to be done that way, but it works. It works out perfectly for us.
It works great. It's a lot easier than to be flipping through and say, oh, where did she say this?
Or back button, back button, back button.
Yeah. That's right. So anyway, that'll be fun. This does not come pre-pleated.
No,
this kit does not come pre-pleated.
So we put together a little video for y'all over the Little Lizard King Siesta. We have the honor of working with Hope Mullins, and she is the designer and sewist at Castle Land Cotton. Mm-hmm. And so she made up this little swimsuit. We have, what was in the newsletter today? Is it 33 swimsuit fabrics?
Yeah, that surprised me. I didn't think it was that many. This is a Little Lizard King Siesta pattern with a lot of options. And when Hope sewed, her daughter is tall and thin, so she made a size 10 in the length and 8 in the width. And so she was really, really happy. And we saw a picture of her daughter wearing it. It was adorable on her. And in fact, we had Jane Seeley was here yesterday, and you've seen Jane with us when she does heirloom sewing. And she saw this and she's like, I have to have this swimsuit fabric. She's going to sew swimsuits for her granddaughters. And then I think she went home and ordered the Siesta pattern.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, really cute. But she ordered this same print in the blue colorway.
I like the blue.
Yeah.
I really love the panels. So we also offer some pre-cut paneled pieces. And they're like this blue and white combination. It's really pretty.
Now, you don't have to have any kind of special sewing machine to sew on swimwear, but we do carry Swimwear Elastic. I think the elastic is very important because it holds up to chlorine and sun, and you can sew through it and it still has good recovery. And so,
but you're probably going to have the needle in your needles already to be able to sew.
Yeah, you do need a knit needle or a stretch needle, a ballpoint needle, definitely. And then you don't have to have any special stitch except a zigzag. And so you can definitely use your cover stitch for this, but you do not have to do anything except it's important to have a zigzag.
So there's different pattern or different options with this. What is the ruffles can sit at the waist also, I believe. I thought that was for little girls. How cute is that?
Cute, like a dropped waist almost.
This little ruffle actually goes all the way around the back, which I thought that was a cute little design element.
And the nice thing about swimwear is it doesn't fray, and so you just have to cut your strip and you don't have to hem anything.
Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
And then Hope lined it in itself, so it's a double layer, and that worked out.
But it's not super thick. I mean, this is a nice feel.
We're getting some swimwear in very soon, within the week probably. That comes from a company called Miracle Suit. And I said, well, what's the miracle part? The miracle part is some of it is
tummy control.
Yeah, tummy control. It's like, that is a miracle. Look at you. That's a miracle.
How do you shrink when you get into a bathing suit?
That's right. It's got to pop out somewhere. It's going to be like popping out down here.
Or you won't breathe.
Yeah. Or maybe you need to make long legs and up to here. And then it's just like.
Have like a scuba set.
Mary Rollins has a question.
Okay.
Did you like how much that tickled us?
She says she loves the idea of the kits, but the question is about the bundles. Do we make up the bundles, or do they come from a supplier like that?
Oh, the fabric bundles? Mm-hmm. We actually make the fabric bundles.
No, yeah, they don't come to us as pre-cut
right
collections.
Mm-hmm.
The fabric bundles either come in whether we have a lot of yardage or a little bit, we designate it as a fabric bundle. And then it's kind of like Sally comes across awesome deals, and those deals are shared with you through fabric bundles. So typically a fabric bundle is something that is a reduced cost. And so we send along those great deals to y'all.
Now we have had some really, really high-end men's shirtings, and we use them for men, women, children, everything, that have been pre-cut for tailors to make men's shirts. And so
Talking about the Gitman.
yeah, Gitman Brothers.
Gitman
I was
Brothers?
trying to remember
Uh-huh.
Gitman. It was Gitman Brothers. And so that on that occasion, they came to us pre-cut,
Mhm.
and they had the measurements on, but they were actually used by shirting tailors.
Manufacturers.
Yeah, I think individual tailors.
So we did not just get this.
No,
But
no, I was looking for a vintage pattern yesterday, and I came across a whole stack of these that we had. This old store stock, but it's got a wonderful ladies blouse in here.
I love this blouse. I'm gonna show it on the overhead, so y'all can see it.
I don't know. We might have 10 or 11 of these, and I
The
think they're
price?
online for $5.
Y'all,
And the pattern is in here.
look at this fit. I mean, everything looks so beautiful on her. I mean, it has like, whatever year that it was published in.
It's definitely a dated look just because of the hairdos and all that kind of stuff. But the blouse is beautiful.
The blouse is so gorgeous. And you get this special right now. We have it. Is it $5, Emma? Do you know if this?
I'm
pretty sure we're selling this for $5. And it has great bow lace bows that you could put on your little girl's skirt. I mean, different ways that you can use what's in this book currently.
There's actually a skirt pattern. I think this is it. And it has like a little pleated kick pleat back here, and then they put a bow here.
I mean, even if you omitted this, that's a beautiful
and then
structured skirt.
With casing in the waist. It's very cute.
It is cute.
Yeah.
And so different blouses, different ways to use the bow little applique.
Cheryl Blander says she made the skirt from that book, and it's wonderful.
Well, I've seen it made. It's really pretty, but this has been around a while. What's the date on? Do you know the
I
date?
have to look it up. It's gorgeous.
It
though.
is.
The blouse fit is so beautiful. 1989
by Patti Smith.
Patti Smith.
Yeah.
So she has several gorgeous blouses. There are she teaches you about putting in insertion in the sleeve down to the 3/4 length, different style bows.
They're full size patterns in here.
Yeah, 8 to 16 actually. I remember seeing that. So for $5, very, very limited inventory, and it's a gorgeous.
I think
blouse.
it went on this morning, maybe.
Yeah,
or yesterday afternoon or this morning. Yeah, it's
going to be gone.
Fun. I found some really fun things. That's where I found the pattern that I made.
Where were you hunting?
I was back behind that wall, but I was looking for Missy and Goodwin.
Oh, nice.
I was looking for Missy and Goodwin. Yeah.
So what else do we have here? I am going to show y'all
rainbow.
I have Rick Rack is back. Do you know that? Rick Rack is totally back.
That's true.
And sometimes we're the last to get the message. But y'all have to see this cute little thing we were designing up over here. I'm gonna have to scoot it just a little bit further. Yeah. So we were gonna come up with a little rainbow, like just an easy applique that you could do on a dress. And look at that. Isn't that cute? I love the pastel colors and the little white clouds. So for the clouds, we did a white, this is all medium rickrack. And I guess you could go up or down depending on the size child you're sewing for or how big you want the applique to be. But we used white rickrack, and then we used our bullseye piqué to create this little cloud. So I thought that was pretty cute.
Poof it out a little bit here.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? So,
but that would be cute on the front of a garment right here, like the Kimberly pattern or something, where you just put it on the bodice. It'd be really pretty.
Even if you did a white collar, so you did an A-line dress with a white collar and put that kind of lower set, like on your thigh, I think that would be a cute design too.
That's pretty.
So we put it on a pink and white striped seersucker. So all in that kind of pastel world. But if you were doing like denim for back to school, I mean, you could just change your rainbow colors and make them more primary, and that would be really cute. So just bright and spring.
Yeah, this is pretty. These are, if you had your colors done, they would be called summer, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Aren't those summer color? I think. I'm not a color person, but I think these would be considered summer colors.
What are you? Because you did have them done, right? A long
time ago, and they said I was a winter. But you know, when you get older, your hair color changes and all that kind of stuff. But
a winter gal.
Winter.
Light eyes, dark skin.
Light winter, I think. But yeah,
pretty. So Sally has a zipper demonstration for y'all. She is going to discuss beading and how to use her handiest dandiest tied around her neck bodkin.
I have another one hooked to it.
And you've not lost this. We're like a month in, right?
I know. It's
This is
only
a big
because I
deal.
can keep finding this yellow ribbon. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also we are going to talk about a Princess Charlotte inspired sleeve for y'all.
Yeah.
So what you want to start with?
Let's talk about the sleeve. I think that's kind of fun. Really kind of, I mean, everything, me sewing this dress kind of triggered all this stuff, but so many of people on our heirloom boards were talking about this pretty little Princess Charlotte dress, and it's really very, very simple. It looks like a bodice dress with a kind of a flared sleeve. And
I want to call it a float sleeve.
Yeah,
is that even a thing?
It could be. Yeah,
it's like a
and then it's got a cute little bow on the shoulder and on a diagonal. It looks like it's like a chiffon or something, so it's a little bit more thin in the sleeve, and then maybe has
underlined or something.
Yeah, and you know what? I found this is interesting because we talk about underlining fabric by putting 2 layers together and sewing it as one. Let me show you this. I have never heard this term before, but they, in one of these old patterns, they called it construction lining. Construction. Let me find it. It was really, really
so
interesting.
The same technique or same process
of underlining,
but using a different.
They called it construction lining, and honestly, that's what you're doing. You want to construct something so that it has a little more body to it. I have never heard that term before.
That makes sense.
And so construction lining is really what we call underlining, and they recommended it for this dress.
I feel like I want a Webster's dictionary of both of those things now to see if it's the exact same and just different places use different.
The way they used it on here, it was
underlining.
The same as underlining. So that sleeve got me thinking, because as I was coming across patterns, this little pattern is a Flower Girl dress pattern. It's Simplicity 8175, and you can see this sleeve, and we can put it here on the overhead. This sleeve is showing, and it doesn't have any gathering. Now, Kristen and I were looking carefully at the Princess sleeve, and it does have gathering on the shoulder. So anyway, I had this pattern already. So I pulled out the pattern piece, and I was still, no. And so this is the pattern piece, and this is the shoulder part, like here. And then this goes under the arm, and then of course this would be soft, and so it would lay and be a pretty little it's float. Almost like float sleeve, and it's almost like
an extended flutter.
It's almost like a circle skirt. And then this normally, and I'm going to pull this other pattern out. This little pattern is Butterick 3684, and that sleeve is gathered on the top, and it has the straight of the grain straight up and down right here. So,
and that George is calling it a bell sleeve.
A bell sleeve? Okay. Well, you can call it a bell sleeve. That would make sense to me. So I think it's interesting to see where the grain is. I have not cut out I haven't cut out this one yet, the Simplicity, but I have used this sleeve on the Butterick, a size 3, for June's dress. And because I wanted to see how they both.
You knocked this thing out.
Go. Yeah, I did. I did it yesterday afternoon. I loved it.
It's got pockets. I love that you included pockets.
And the pockets are so cute because they have a little elastic in them right here.
This is a poplin weight Liberty,
it is
right?
Liberty poplin weight.
That's
yes.
pretty.
But I like the little square neck. And what I like about it, a lot of pattern companies they'll make square necks for kids, but they're kind of wide. And I think it's really important with children to keep the neck a little, you can still design it, but to keep it from falling off their shoulders. I think it's nice to have it.
I mean, it
like
makes me want to
this.
talk about Sissy, like the Wink and a Nod
Yes.
Sissy, because we had a first run
And it was a little too low.
It was a little too low.
Yeah.
So we had a first run with the square neck that we had to alter for an
Right.
alteration
That's
or
right.
a pattern alteration.
So this has a little square in the back and the front. And when I sewed this, I actually put iron-on interfacing.
Did you stop
around
it at a certain point?
the interfacing I did.
Yeah.
Can you see it or not?
No, I just I can see the texture change.
I was thinking about lining it in the same fabric or even put a facing, but I was afraid, even though it's a poplin, I was afraid it would show through. And so I actually lined it. It doesn't call for a lining, but I lined it.
Did you do baby interfacing?
I did baby interfacing. Well, I actually used my
that
substitute, my off-brand baby interfacing.
Well, and I want to say that I can see the texture change only after you said that.
Oh, you
because
can tell?
I didn't notice that beforehand.
Well, I can tell, like on the nightgown, that I used the interfacing on the bodice, and I lined the bodice in a solid, and it looks lighter in color. But I think it's not going to matter on a nightgown.
I think for this, and then also for the nightgown, you have to address that.
Well,
especially for this corner,
for these little squared off corners, because you have to clip right down into the corner in order to turn it and press it right, and you don't want any little frayed edges to come out. But this called for a zipper, and so we heirloom people, we
say
we use buttons all the time. We like to. Well, I mean, some of y'all don't like to use buttons, but I like to use buttons. And I thought I can do a zipper, but we want to talk about this a little more.
Yeah. Well, I want to say, so we're talking about how to recreate that Princess Charlotte sleeve with a pattern you might already have. So whether it's a gathered sleeve or whether it's just an inset sleeve with no gathers, it's kind of addressed the same way, where you drop the bottom sleeve line to give this extended length.
But you've got to have fullness some way, either by creating a circle or by putting gathers in it. So otherwise it's just too straight.
Or if it is a gathered, like a banded at the bottom, you just would not put that banded part.
Several people had suggested that online, that you could just leave the band off. But you know what I would try? I would try it out of a piece of junk fabric before you did it out of your good fabric and see if you like it. Or if you wanted to like circle it out a little bit, you can, it doesn't matter the shape of this up here. What matters is that fits in the armhole.
That you're not changing that line.
You're not changing the distance, the length of that line at all. You are changing the shape of this, and you're actually making this elongated or more straight looking. But then when you put it in the armhole, it's like a circle skirt it fits at the waist, but it has lots of room at the bottom without gathers.
Well, and another thing that I feel like is going to make it drapier and flowier, like the Princess Charlotte sleeve, is to cut it on the bias.
Well, see that was what Jane noticed yesterday when she was here. She was like, look, they've cut it on the bias, and the bias does definitely make a difference. If you've ever looked at vintage like nightgowns from the 20s and their bias cut, they just drape. They're really draping.
Well, also I feel like it can elongate at the side seams, especially. I feel like it ends up being a little longer with the drape
stretch. It definitely
bias
can.
cut.
Yeah.
They want a picture of the princess. They said Caroline.
Oh, is it Caroline? What we said,
Charlotte? Is it Charlotte?
What is it? What is her name? I don't know. It's
beautiful.
I want to see it on the overhead.
Oh, okay. You want to see it on the overhead? Okay.
This dress is really not difficult.
No.
I mean, it's really just a simple bodice dress, and this bow is even like just a flat sewn bow. There's really nothing to it. I mean, the sleeve would be altering something that you have, we don't have our finger right now on a sleeve option to absolutely recreate this dress, but the dress itself is very simple.
It is fun to watch what they dress their kids in, because it's kind of in our world with with the beautiful children's clothing.
Tiny florals, smocking.
Yeah, I like it.
Shank buttons on the back.
Yeah. They're pretty. And Liberty, she does wear a lot of Liberty, right? Yeah.
So, do you have another thing you want to talk about with that, or we're going to go to your zipper?
I can go to the zipper. Well, I was going to show you this because, you know, when we talk about these vintage patterns, the thing I like about vintage patterns, I like the details. And this pattern, and this is the back bodice piece. It has a small dart at the shoulder and a small dart at the waist. And
show it on the overhead.
Okay.
Or go
I was going to show something on you too for a minute.
Cool.
Melanie hopes that Little Lizard King Zoe would work.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Well, yeah, let's look it up.
So you like these darts
I like them because
for fit.
Yeah, I mean, what do you have right here?
Shoulder blade.
You have a shoulder blade, and that's not like totally flat.
Not on me, especially.
No, not on anybody. And so when you put a tiny dart here and a tiny dart here, it makes room for that shoulder blade, and then you have a beautiful fit. So if you can get a pattern that has those little darts, they're totally worth it. I mean, it's beautiful.
The finished product is more fitted. It gives you
I love
more
it.
shapely look.
I do love that.
So what Sally is going to show you is a new technique that she did for the first time today on your zipper. Is that right?
It is not new to probably most of you, but it was new to me, right? So some of the
who was it that was here that was just talking about putting in their zippers that way?
I don't know.
Cookie Bar.
Oh, Cookie does it. Okay. So this is, let's see, which is my, yeah. So I took 2 pieces of fabric, and this is where you kind of like to have a 5/8 inch seam, because you put that zipper in, you have plenty of room. And the old patterns have
That's a pitch for a 5/8 inch seam.
I really don't want a 5/8. I really like a 3/8 or a half. I like that better. But for a zipper, the 5/8 is awesome.
And so what you do when you come to a zipper seam, it didn't matter if it was a 1/4 inch seam, you made that fatter to suit your needs here.
Well, I probably would.
Yeah,
I would. In fact, if I have a pattern with 1/4 inch seams, and there are lots of them, I always cut it bigger anyway, and so that I have at least 3/8 of an inch to work with. But let's say I want this is my center back seam, and I want my zipper to start right here. And so I sewed with a regular stitch length up to that point. And then I put
this is the bottom of the zipper, and you're going to zip.
This is the bottom of the skirt. This would be
on the overhead.
Okay. So if this is the back of the skirt or the dress, this is your bottom. This is where your hem is going to be. So I sewed with a regular stitch up to about here, and then you can see that opening right there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put a basting stitch the rest of the way. And so that way everything
so you
is
just
lined
stopped
up.
at this point.
I stopped and
changed your
and put a basting stitch, which is a longer stitch, all the rest of the way. And then, oh man, what happened to my zipper?
We're zipper hunting over here.
Oh, here's my zipper. So if I want my zipper is going to be here. I can either, this zipper is too long for that. I can either I can put put a satin stitch across the bottom of this and cut that off, or I can start my zipper here and then cut it off at the top.
Oh, you're good right there.
Okay. Well, I decided I would cut it off at the top. So I took my, I thought I had it all together. My Wonder Under, wash away Wonder Under tape. And
so typically you don't address your zippers this way. And so what did you think when you were? Did you like the way that it came out?
I did like the way, I liked it a lot. And so
moving forward, you would totally do it this way?
I would do it this way, yes. I I have my
Well, I think that's interesting because you don't shy away from a zipper. And actually, a lot of times
Yeah.
you will alter a pattern to use a zipper because you don't want to, you want it to be quicker.
I don't know what I did with my little open roll of Wonder Tape, but at any rate, let me open one.
Pretend it's a bodkin and have no sad feelings about opening up a new.
I hate to open a new one, but I'm going to open a new one. So this one is the Bowen double face. This is a wash away adhesive tape. And
So typically you're going to open your zipper, you're going to sew in one side.
Yeah.
And then you're going to sew in the other side.
yeah, then I'm going to zip it up. And
So
sew
then
on the other
how
side.
did you do this differently?
Well, this one, I put my
Ooh.
wash away tape
I already see where this is going.
both sides of my zipper.
She cheated, y'all.
I did.
How easy is this though?
And then on the other side too.
And you just stuck that boy in place.
I did stick it in place.
That is really
And
cool.
So
So this is wash away.
yeah, this is wash away. And so then you got to find your little end somewhere. See if I can find it. Well, so much for that, right? Anyway, I'm going to show you what I did. So let's say I found my ends and there, and this was sticky. I started here and I put my zipper right on that seam and stuck that baby right down like that.
And you don't even separate it to address one side or the other.
No.
At this point, because it's stuck in place,
Yeah.
you can just sew up each side.
That's right. But I did it from the front then. I came around here.
Oh, that's even way cheating.
And that way I could have the equal amount. Now sometimes the best way to do it is to start down here and go up, and then start down here and go up the other side, because it pushes your fabric in the same direction. What's the matter?
Michelle is oohing and ahhing over here.
Yeah, you like that, Michelle? That was
that
so
is easy.
And so see, you got your little open spot here so you can see where the end of your zipper is, so you don't hit it with your needle. And so anyway, what I did was I did the easy way. I started up here and sewed right down on one side. You have to use your zipper foot and
Don't y'all like how
needle
Sally
over.
thinks what she's doing is the easy way instead of any other way?
So I'm down there across the end and the back up here, and then I pulled my basting threads out, and then your zipper is done and even. And then when I came up here, I had all this hanging off, you know. And so once I pulled my basting threads out, I was able to pull my zipper down to where it needed to be. And then I put my lining or my facing in, and then just, you know, turned it over.
How easy is that?
That was really, really simple.
That is way faster.
So
that was with you've got two different washaways here.
I actually used
the Wonder Tape
with the Wonder Tape,
and then you have the Bowen. So here's the two different options that we carry. So we have the Bowen option, and then we also have the Dritz washaway option, and that's pretty handy right there.
Lois Martin asked if the adhesive doesn't gum up your needle.
It does not gum up your needle. No, it doesn't. But man, this was like
this one was
fabulous.
So was this harder to find, the sticky?
Well, mine wasn't hard to find because it's been open for a long time, and it was kind of dried out at one end, you know, and so I had to whack it off.
So it barely stuck on there anyways.
So here we go.
So here's that demonstration.
Yeah, this is the way it really works. So it's very sticky. So I stick it right here. And if you get it off center a little bit, you just pick it up and move it over. It's really simple.
That is really simple.
Yeah.
Sharon White says she was taught that method when she purchased her first Kenmore 50 plus years ago.
There you go. See, I should have been paying attention.
Said there was no wash away at that time.
Yeah. But see, then now the way my mother taught me to put zippers in, she taught me to make a lap zipper. So you had your one fold on one side, and then it lapped over, and so that way you didn't have to match up your two seams anyway. But I learned how to do that. But this was really easy, really easy. So This little sticky tape junk is wonderful.
So then if you're going to change a back opening button down to a zipper, so you have that overlap for the buttons, you're just going to make that seam meet in the back. And then
where your center back is, that's your seam.
That's your new zipper seam.
That's your zipper seam. So you have to have a seam allowance on either side.
And you got to have the finished edges to put next to your opening.
It's much easier to change a
Zipper
a button back to a zipper than it is to change a zipper to a button back, because with a zipper you have to add fabric and you have to remember to do that. Because one time I was going to do buttons and I forgot to add it, and I'm like, oh yeah.
I would love to learn from all the things that you did to not go back and use your seam ripper.
Like whoops.
Like just add on that extra fold.
But that makes a really simple zipper. And honestly, that invisible zipper, if I had one in front of me, I would have put one of those in, because you can see the little zipper pull up here.
Oh, please.
And the invisible zipper pull is just like one tiny little teardrop. It's so cute.
It is cute, but this is beautiful. Y'all look at this sleeve. Oh my goodness, I do love this.
It's
sleeve.
gonna be cute on her, I think.
It is. Yes,
yeah, I think it's gonna be cute.
She's my little baby football player. she's my football player body. She's gonna be precious in this whole thing.
Yeah, I can picture that.
She is, isn't she?
Yeah, she can take down her sister, I think.
Yes, she can. Yes. Oh my goodness, this is sweet. So this is both of these fabrics are 100% cotton. This is Liberty of London, and it's actually a poplin weight. What we've traditionally carried are the Liberty of London. They're called tonalons, and so they're a lightweight cotton. This is a little bit heavier, but it still sews like a dream, like the Liberty of London does.
It's nice. I really thought I don't really need a lining. But instead of doing a facing up here, facings are a pain. It was easier to do a lining than to just put a little cut off facing. So that's why I did that.
With this, it has that ivory, that traditional ivory Liberty background. And so this is a cotton eyelet that has this little floral design. I love it because the size of the floral matches up to the little size of this floral. So
when I picked it out, everything looked way more matching in the ivories to me, but maybe because there were so many layers together, because this seems a little light, but so I'm like,
I love it.
Does it look okay?
It looks great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's lined in a Pima cotton broadcloth in an ivory. And I lined the pockets because they're easier to turn when they're lined than when you just turn a curve under. It's a lot easier to line them and turn them right side out.
So you've got to, I saw you had something up here. What do you have yet to finish on the zipper?
I need to sew the lining down on either side of the zipper, and I need to hem the dress and hem the zipper. Hem the dress and hem the lining.
So with this poplin weight, will you hand hem this?
I think I'm going to hand hem
You
it.
hand hem a lot. I'm always.
I like the way it looks. I'm gonna probably blind hem or straight stitch even the lining
because of So are you going to address? How did you address the A-line shape at the bottom?
Well,
did you give it ease?
I did. I didn't. When I pressed it up, I kind of pressed it in a little bit because it's A-line.
Is that dress?
Oh,
the sleeves?
That's pretty.
Okay, so Violet Fields. I want to know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let's finish that.
Because an A-line dress, when you press the hem up, it's the hem. The bottom of this is going to be wider than the part that it hits on your dress, and so actually you can see how it's a little bit. See how it has a little bit more room here. When I pressed it up, I kind of pressed it up in that direction. And then when I hand hem it, I can sort of take little, not really tucks, but I'll pull it in. I pull it in when I hand hem, and that's kind of why I kind of like to do it. But this is like 1.25 inch hem. I think if I went 2 inches, I'd have to
make some bloomers.
Put a draw thread in there to suck it up a little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to show this to Instagram first. Yeah. This is the Seraphina dress that was recommended for the sleeve, and the service just went out.
Yeah.
This is the Seraphina dress, which was recommended for the Charlotte dress sleeve, and it's a violet filled threads pattern. And so here on the overhead, y'all can see this definitely, what were we calling it?
Bell.
A bell, fluid, flutter. Look at that. That's beautiful. You definitely could recreate that look using this pattern. That's really pretty. So, okay.
I made 3 things this week.
So next week, she also will not be sewing anything.
I'm gonna be sewn out, right?
Yes. You made 3 real things too.
I made the shorts, I made the nightgown, and I made this dress.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not
Shoo.
done yet. I'm not done yet. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we appreciate y'all tuning in with us. If you don't know, we are offering 2 giveaways a week, which is crazy generous of Sally because there's so many goodies in every week. We are drawing. We got to draw, and then did you show us anything on your?
Not yet.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay.
What do you want to do first?
Well, let's draw. We're
Okay.
talking about it. Let's see who wins.
All right.
This week, this was super popular. I actually put it in our newsletter. You have to follow us on social media to get involved with these giveaways, but I wanted to put it in our newsletter as well because y'all really loved this one.
Yeah, we had a lot of entries on this one.
It was a huge giveaway to begin
I
with.
was walking through my house and found some of this. This is a vintage plissé, and then this was a really cute.
Oh, I
you
remember
can't see
this.
It looks bird's eye, but it's really a waffle piqué that's a flounce with
A scalloped edge.
scalloped edge
Mhm.
and eyelet embroidery, and I washed it. It's pretty. It looks nice.
Some
So-
lucky individual that Sally never thought she'd be given something to is going to receive this. She doesn't even know your name yet.
Pre-washed by me.
All right. You want to draw?
No, you can draw.
Or your house specialty?
Yeah, this is a house special.
All right. We have Carrie Gillespie.
No.
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Linda Stratman. She tagged Carrie. So excuse me, Carrie, you did not win this. Linda Stratman, she says, these items would make great doll clothes. Lovely fabrics and trims. So Linda,
right.
you are our winner.
There we go.
So Sally is going to teach us about some beading lace trims. I see you have some Swiss options for us.
Well, I have Swiss and French, and so people use beading a lot. And I was going to look up why do they call it beading. I'm not really sure. But the interesting thing is, a beading is a type of lace that has holes in it that you can thread ribbon through. And so it comes in all kinds of sizes. Here's a French lace, really, really sweet, delicate French lace. And here's one with just the holes and no design. That's a French lace. And then here's a French lace with the holes and a flower in between. And then there are like all types of, you know what, I pulled out I have this one. I was going to show this. This is a French lace that has the beading attached to an edging. Can they see that on here?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so I came at it from both sides because a lot of times we wonder what size ribbon is going to fit in those holes. And my first go at it doesn't look too great, does it? It's kind of like
A little big.
a little big. This is a 1/4 inch, a 6 millimeter, and I threaded that through there, and it doesn't lay very well.
We oftentimes will link the size ribbon that you need to the trim.
So then I put in the 4 millimeter, and the 4 millimeter is like a perfect fit.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I was pulling out all my different bodkins that I use for this.
Don't let her fool you. That's not the one she's opened previous to now. These are brand new ones off the shelf.
I can't find my other one. So I tried this one. This one would work for ribbon if the beading holes were large enough. But where is that little needle thing?
So we're going through our history of bodkins over here.
So this is what I use for the narrow stuff today. It's actually, it looks like a needle. Can they see that?
Yeah. Yep.
So this is a bodkin set, and this is a ribbon weaver. You put the ribbon through that opening But the one that worked great on the tiny ones, okay, is the
It looks like
a tapestry needle or something like that.
Yes.
But it
Yeah.
has a large opening right here, and so you can put that ribbon right through that opening like that, and then because this is a rounded end, you can run that through your beading without it getting caught up. This is how I live right
I know.
here.
That's what I was
This
like.
is how I
This
live.
tangled mess.
Yeah, this is how I live. Like this. Yeah, there we
That's
go.
pretty.
And so with the French laces, you really probably kind of want to use a silk satin ribbon or a polyester satin ribbon. But here's a really cool thing. With the Swiss, because it's it's a fabric, you can put gingham ribbons in here, and they're so cute. Look at that.
Really, I mean, this
love
would have been
that.
so cute on your strawberry dress.
That's what I was thinking too.
I mean, like adding in that little
Yeah.
bit of detail.
Yeah.
That is so pretty.
and then this pretty ribbon, I gotta make sure that we have it on. We've got to get.
I like this from the underneath, actually.
It's pretty.
That's really
isn't it?
cute that way.
And then get this. Here is.
Oh, she's getting real wild over here, y'all.
Here is spaghetti run through the Swiss beading. Isn't that pretty?
I do like it.
Look at that.
And the weight differences between the trim, both
Right.
trims, is not unappealing.
So
It's not
then,
unattractive.
you know, we have like very wide openings like this. And with these, then we can get to.
You can use this as belting even.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes up beautifully as a little sash front,
Like
dress front.
I'm not sure. Will that fit? So this is a 1.5 inch ribbon, and I'm gonna pinch it together with this bodkin right here. I love this, and this is the one I thread my elastic with. And so let's see if this will go. Hey, this is the Swiss beading that somebody showed us how they made. They embroidered over the top of this flower.
Loretta White, maybe?
Is that who it was?
She's
so
NICU RN.
Oh my
She
goodness! It was
yes,
beautiful.
it was so gorgeous.
It was so pretty.
Yeah. NICU RN sewing or something. She did a gorgeous hand embroidery.
So you fiddle with it and see if it works. This is probably the closest one to work. Yeah, that looks good. So this is like this is a 1 inch. So 1 inch is going to definitely be too narrow.
So this is also the one you would use for like threading elastic.
It is. I love this thing.
Mhm.
This is great. But it doesn't fit through some of the other little tiny holes. So then you have to use your either a ribbon weaver or a needle.
So
type
then
thing.
you have to add to this jewelry, this sewing jewelry that Sally is making popular.
It's like I found this. I'm going to hang it on there too. So now I can find both of them.
You need every bodkin ever made on that little. It can be your charm,
I know it.
your bodkin
I
charm
know.
necklace.
Anyway, so there are a lot of options, and I do love these. And I did see somebody actually take one of the wide ones. We had that dress here that
Oh,
somebody
it's a
made that
white
had the gingham
piqué with the blue and white
yes,
gingham. I know
yes.
exactly what you're
And
talking
they
about.
put a blue and white gingham
Gorgeous fabric.
fabric, like they made a sash or something that
Mhm.
it fit through this wide beading in blue and white gingham, and then trimmed the white piqué dress in blue and white gingham. It was.
I'm thinking about it.
beautiful.
It surprises me because the Swiss is typically made on a lighter weight cotton, but when you add in the embroidery, like in this instance, it has a lot of flowers and then it has the entrecot on both sides. It changes the weight of the fabric. So really, even with something as thick as a spaghetti bias tubing, it doesn't look too
Right.
It doesn't look too different.
No, it looks great.
So adding the fabric and this really delicate
Mhm.
Swiss, it matches beautifully.
I'm thinking about some of our floral bias. I wonder how that would work.
Oh,
wouldn't
floral
that be
bias would be
pretty?
pretty.
That might be fun.
Yes.
That would be pretty.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't have to have anything going on with the dress at all. It could be a basic round neck. And then you put a wide beading right here and run ribbon through and sash in the back, or even bring it, maybe something in the front. That's all you need, and it's really, real pretty.
And that doesn't, like exactly what Sally's saying, it does not change. I mean, sometimes you need to wait things out and add something else. I feel like that sash it's a perfect complement.
It is. I love it. I always look to the beading, and I try and buy different sizes and keep them in stock. This is a really pretty one. This is from Capital, and it probably takes, let's see, that's 18 millimeter. I've got all these ribbon styles here, and so sometimes we just have to try them and see which one fits.
So we carry a full line of polyester satin ribbon, double-faced. That means both sides are slick. Polyester satin ribbon and double-faced silk satin ribbon. So a full line, meaning in the polyester, 60 colors maybe. I mean, at least maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out. It could be over 100. We have a lot, and they come in every single. Some of the colors we don't have every single size range. If somebody asks for a specific size, we would order it. But from this tiny 4 millimeter up to is this a 50 millimeter?
That one's 50, and but
we have the blanket binding.
The polyester actually goes to a 70 millimeter, and then the
silk goes to 36.
Silk goes to 50.
Does it?
Goes to
but
50.
we don't have the blanket binding in the silk ribbon.
and actually what we call the blanket binding is 95 millimeter. That's not from the same company.
Oh, and they don't have all the color options.
Colors are, but they're really, but it's beautiful, and but the quality is the same. So you see, you can pull through a lot of these holes at one time. I tried it at first, like up and down with my hands, like I'm not getting anywhere.
Valerie wants to know how do you finish the ends of the sash?
Well, if I put this. If I put this around the waist, what I do is I actually trim the seam allowance off, and I top stitch right through the entredot. And when I get to the overhead, okay. If I was putting this around the waist of a garment, I mean, you can turn it under and press that down. I might have done that before too. And then sew through it, and you could do a little zigzag, or you can sew a straight stitch and sew it to your garment. I bet I've done that. I bet I turned it under.
That sounds too familiar, doesn't it?
It's like, I think I've done this. And then when you get to the back, you just turn it under at the back where the buttons are or whatever.
But how about Gail Doan's, where she had the overlapping and she actually used it as like a buttoning to button her garment? Do you remember that on the back of her christening gown?
She pointed the
edges. Yes.
But she made a belt out of it was separate.
For the back closure.
They were saying, didn't Gail Doan use it on all those dresses for a
She
wedding?
sure did, yes. And so then also Sally, we actually have a blog on this where Sally so she made the Charlotte blouse from Bonnie Blue Designs. And then you came back with that ivory colored beading, and you Velcroed. So you sewed the end under, you addressed these raw edges, and then you Velcroed a piece to each other. So that
at the back. So it was like a belt. So it was like a belt. Yeah. Because it had elastic casing at the waist. Lila wore that. And it was in peachy pink dotted Swiss.
Yeah.
And that was pretty.
That was really pretty.
And so, we made a belt. And then, of course, in our pictures, we weren't paying attention. And it was like
all hyped up and jacked up.
And I'm like, oh,
whatever.
But anyway, it was really, really pretty. And that was in an ivory beading with that same color piece.
So you could even address the edges. I mean, so that you could use it as belting. That sounds funny.
I mean, honestly, you could sew it you could back that with a fabric or something like that and sew it together. Definitely could do that.
So you could do it in a way that it's top stitched and permanent onto your garment, or you could finish the back and make it a belt. Yeah,
right.
But honestly, this is not unattractive. I mean, this sewn over is not. It's pretty.
Well, I love beadings. I try and keep them, lots of them.
A lot of times people will finish a sleeve with a beading edging. And then run like a little ribbon that they tie in a bow on the side for christening gowns. I
want to show this because I don't think I'm very good at this, but maybe I can do it. So this beading,
what you're doing?
This beading has offset openings, they're offset. And so what you do is you take a 1/8 inch ribbon and you thread it up and down, up and down, up and down. And I've seen people do 2 colors.
Mhm.
And would they go back the other way? And I mean, I'm not sure quite how they did that.
I mean, would you not just do one color and then the other? They're overlapping from top to bottom.
Well, I don't know because I haven't tried that, but it's kind of a neat look when, and Gail Doan has done this on one of her one of her flower girl dresses. So let's just see. So we're going to come up here and we're going to go down here
Just a tiny bit. Yep, perfect.
and up. And the whole time you got to fiddle with it and get it turned exactly the way you want it to be.
Because whenever you're pulling it through, it's flopping.
It's gonna flip.
Yes.
Yeah, but see, you can make it and so it's at a diagonal all the way across.
beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
Yes.
I think that's really
All the way
pretty.
across, meaning she's not going past these 2 loops.
There, you have the idea, right?
Go for it, y'all.
Yeah. So there we are. That's all I know today.
Okay.
Celebrate a birthday tomorrow. Our little 2-year-old
Yes.
June.
Oh, no, we don't. We know more. So Evie
Oh.
Hawkins is going to be here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we've had
Oh.
Evie from A Bit of Stitch. She came to us earlier this year. She's going to be our guest on Gab and Gush on Tuesday. And she is going to tell us what we need to know about machine embroidery, where to incorporate it, type of interfacing. She's got all the knowledge and we're going to pick her brain. So if y'all would join us live on Tuesday at 12 p.m. with Evie Hawkins from A Bit of Stitch.
So not only that, we got a wonderful shipment in yesterday.
Yeah, I've not seen this.
This is so
Whoa.
beautiful.
This is like the carriage from Cinderella.
Isn't this?
That's so
This is
pretty.
made in Spain, I think.
Whoa.
And the girls just put this on this morning. Look how pretty it looks with this color back. So it's an edging, and
Is
it's
it an
an
edging? It's
an
like a
edging. It looks like a
balloon.
balloon, but see,
Okay.
it's coming around. So it's an edging.
Right.
Really, really, really
All
pretty.
right. That drapey sleeve we've been talking about.
That, you know what? That's what I
How
was thinking.
beautiful.
This
A
could be
gorgeous collar.
completely make a sleeve, and
This is so
there you
pretty.
go.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
your little sleeve.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
You don't even need a pattern. I mean, you
Yeah,
just need your
yeah.
armhole size on that.
That's right. That's pretty.
That's
That's
gorgeous.
pretty. So brand new.
All right.
new.
Don't y'all see the carriage from Cinderella right there?
Aw,
I mean, I feel like you could add some
right
wheels
there.
to
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
And then here's the bottom wheels.
That's
That's
right.
cute.
That's cute.
Oh man. So what is this? This is not cotton.
No, it's not. It's cotton
It's a
stitching.
blend?
A cotton stitching on either a polyester. I think a polyester tool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
cotton stitching on a polyester tool. So it's not going to shrink, which is wonderful.
So is this all that we have?
we have 60 yards.
Okay, because this is so pretty.
Yeah, we have 60 yards, and pretty sure we can reorder it.
Nice.
So yeah, made in
Gorgeous.
Spain. It's wonderful. So,
Okay, so y'all be back with us on Tuesday. We will draw again for another winner on Tuesday. Make sure that you watch our page on Monday to get your name into the drawing. Evie Hawkins from A Bit of Stitch will be here, and we look forward to gabbing and gushing with y'all on Tuesday.
man, when Evie comes, I can't keep my hands off her stuff. You know, she's like has so many neat projects, and like, well, what about this? What about
And
this?
how'd you
she
do that? And-
Barely gets finished telling me about one thing, and I'm off to the other thing. It's like it's really fun. It's
She's
really
a lot
fun.
of fun. So y'all join us on Tuesday, and maybe we'll draw your name. We'll see you soon.